Good morning. Happy New Year. Dan Delmar in for Elias. He's back on Thursday. And as I was kind of winding down my holiday, coming back from the Laurentians and into studio yesterday, I was seeing all the ski cannons, the snow cannons, shooting desperately, I would say, shooting snow onto some of the hills up north. And it was looking like a nice day on the few runs that may be available anyway. How is skiing out there? The only person I could think of to ask the question would be our longtime former ski correspondent here at Bell Media and CTV, Guy Le Ski Thibaudeau. Guy Le Ski, welcome back to CJD.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Thanks for bringing me out of retirement. I can't seem to get some free time to myself. See, I get called up every year.
I'm so sorry for taking you out of retirement and off the ski hill.
No problem. It's a pleasure anyway to
Thank you.
Because I'm still worthy of being talked to.
Oh my, absolutely! I was watching you religiously growing up, and in the Laurentians. I mean, you told me where to go. You know, was I going to Saint Sever that day or Olympia? Yeah. You know that I was listening to Guy Le Ski.
So you were up north. You have some kind of an idea of what it's like up here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Born and raised in Thibaudeau region, and I've seen less snow this winter than ever before. I'm really surprised at how things have gone.
Well, it started pretty well. You know, at the beginning of December, we had quite a few good snowfalls. One that was about 35 centimeters, I think, around the 7th or 10th of December, and it was beautiful. In fact, we went snowshoeing right in the heart of Saint Sauveur on the snowshoe trails in the John Molson Park, and we had to wear snowshoes because the snow was so deep; it was up to our knees almost. And so it looked like a really good start to the season. But since then, of course, things have taken a turn for not the better, I would say. And we've had some mild weather, and ski areas for a long period were not able to manufacture snow. And we did have some rain during the Christmas holidays, so it certainly wasn't the best, and it still isn't the best, but it's getting a little bit better right now.
Have you seen a season that was as precarious or with less snow than this?
Well, you know something? That's always a question they ask me. And I always say to them, yes, I've always seen some sea. I've seen some sea. You know, the snow it comes and goes, and ski areas are used to these ups and downs. That's why they've invested so much in snowmaking over the years. And if you just look back at last year at the Christmas time, we had a huge snowstorm, but with power outages. About half the province was out of power for a couple of days. Ski areas were closed partially or fully for a couple of days. And then on New Year's Day, we had pouring rain. You know, and then despite all that, afterwards, the skiing started to pick up. The temperatures got a little bit colder. Ski areas were able to continue making snow. And it ended up as a very, very good ski season overall. So, you know, the ups and downs of the weather are something we're familiar with. And over the many years that I've been doing this job, I've seen it almost every year, you know, and people wonder, oh, is this gonna kill the ski season? It's not going to kill it, but it's certainly not helping the Christmas holidays. In the Christmas holidays, you know, you have 100% of the skiers that want to go out and ski, and you only have maybe 40, 35% of the ski slopes open. So it's not the best scenario for sure.
In the big picture, what are your thoughts on climate change, and do you see climate change playing out on the ski slopes of Quebec in recent years?
Well, climate change is definitely playing a role right now. And, you know, we may have some wars in Ukraine and Israel, but right here it's a war against the climate. And we're fighting it not with guns, but with snow guns. And, you know, ski areas are aware of this, and they've been increasing their snowmaking. They've got billions of dollars invested in enormous snowmaking factory. Like Tremblant has probably the biggest. I think their snowmaking system cost over $10 million. So there's a lot of money being spent on that. And we already see the effects of climate change a little bit south of here in the eastern townships, they always have a harder time getting started. Like, for example, right now, I did a quick check this morning. Sutton is only at 15% of its runs open, Orford 26%, Bromont 35%, Owl's Head 32%. Tremblant, on the other hand, is at 48%, almost half the runs open. Summit Saint-Sauveur 42%, and Mont Blanc 28%. So, and if you look at the other two majors in Quebec, Mont-Saint-Anne is really having a hard time. There's hardly any snow in Quebec City, even worse than the Laurentians. They have 17% of their slopes open at Mont-Saint-Anne, and Le Massif is at 26%. And we all know how much snow Le Massif gets in a year, and sometimes they get 30, 40, 50 centimeters of snow in one dump, but it hasn't happened so far this year. So, the fight is on, the war is on against the weather here in Quebec.
Guy Leski joins us, and thanks for the quick report there. I was going to ask, so I guess the best options right now come down to, if I'm hearing you, I think would be Saint-Sauveur or Tremblant, and there is the difference maker, the fact that there are bigger hills, bigger budgets, and more snow cannons?
Yeah, and I would also say some of the smaller hills, like Mont Habitant has quite a good number of runs open. I'm not sure exactly how many, but they have, I would say, about eight of their 11 runs open, and they're in pretty good shape. Vallée Bleue is a small ski center where you can operate probably on, very little machine-made snow, and they have a little bit more natural snow on the ground. That'd be a good option as well. But certainly in terms of the majors, Tremblant and Sommet Saint-Sauveur are the leading ones, and in the townships, Bromont. Those are your three best bets right now. And one thing we might want to say a word about is cross-country skiing. Cross-country skiing, as you know, doesn't benefit from machine-made snow. There are very few areas that make snow, none in Quebec, actually. I think one in the Outaouais, but that's a little far for us. But they have to depend on natural snow alone. So if I was to generalize, I'd say there's no cross-country skiing in Quebec, except for the aerobic corridor in Morin Heights, which is no railroad bed. That, you need very little snow, just a few centimeters. So it's kind of a nice icy crust from Morin Heights to Saint-Adolphe d'Howard, and to Montfort, rather, Morin Heights to Montfort. So you can ski there, probably ski skate more than classic. And in the Quebec City region, there's a few trails open at Camp-Mercier, north of Quebec City, and Mont-Saint-Anne has a few kilometers open as well, but that's the extent of it. All the park, the CEPAC parks are pretty well closed for cross-country skiing. People are doing snowshoeing, or not snowshoeing, but they're going walking on the trails with crampons. That's one activity that you can do. You can do that almost everywhere. Generally speaking, there's no cross-country skiing, but you can get out and go for a walk with your crampons on practically every trail that is offered by those parks.
Guy Leski, I could continue for hours with you. It's a lot of fun. But real quick, where are you skiing next?
Well, I have a pass to ski everywhere, and I ski Saint-Sauveur, Mont-Tremblant, and Mont-Habitant mostly. And occasionally I try to get out to Quebec City region. Mont-Grand-Fond and Charlevoix is a place that I love. And just before we close, Dan, let me just mention one activity that some people might want to partake in or take in if they're in the Laurentians. The Laurentian Ski Museum in Saint-Sauveur. The Laurentians are known as the birthplace of skiing in Canada. Mm-hmm. The entrance is free. You can leave a donation. It's open 11 to 5 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. And it's right in the heart of Saint-Sauveur at 6 de la Gare, corner principal. It's where the old Banque Nationale building was. It's almost in front of the church. So it's a beautiful, it's not just an exhibition of old skis and boots, although there are some of those, but it's a story of how the Laurentians developed as the prime region for skiing in Quebec, and how skiing developed the region economically and touristically. So skiing is the main driver for the region in the Laurentians. Yeah.
Thank you for the recommendation, and it was a great pleasure to speak with you. Guy Le Ski Thibaudeau, retired ski journalist, our former correspondent here at CTV. Thank you, sir. Have a great week, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.